Hi everyone, welcome to today's daily dose reading. This is a timeless reading, so it can be relevant anytime you find it. I've previously shuffled various decks that I use, and I've pulled cards with different placements, which I'll explain as I put down. So this card represents where you are now. In the Aquarian Tarot, this card represents the challenge you face. This is the resources you can use from the Rider-Waite deck. From the Spolier deck, we have what are the hidden forces. From the Voyage deck, we have what is the potential outcome. And I'm going to pull one rune here for what is the spiritual lesson in this situation. We have Soul Away. We'll check that in a second, but let's get started here on your reading. So, where you are now, Two of Pentacles, this suggests that there is a time now where you may have to make a choice here. For some of you, it could be about your resources and how to manage them. Some of you might be juggling and finding it a little bit challenging, perhaps, to find a way to make what you are working with feel sufficient. I'm saying that because you have the Empress here in the position of what is challenging you. And the Empress represents the energy of abundance, of nature, of she's representing Venus here with this symbol here on the card. But yeah, the Empress card can represent resources, things of value, because she also represents the Taurus energy, which is kind of governs the second house of the astrology. So it's about money and resources and comfort and luxury. So this top line is kind of suggesting that you might be in a state at the moment where you're needing to figure out how to work with what you have in order to maintain a state of comfort and fulfillment, I'm hearing as well. For some of you, this isn't necessarily about the financial side of the Pentacles energy, but more about just simply the things you do in the physical world, the activities perhaps, or the other resources besides money. Now the Five of Wands there on the top row is in the position of what resources you can use. It's an interesting position to place that card. How I'm interpreting it is that you need to be a little bit more creative in the way that you brainstorm about this situation and maybe approach it in a different way. Because right now I sense that you have a little inner conflict, and you might be struggling with this energy that you're dealing with, where you might feel a little bit like there isn't a lot of choice for you. You know, the Two of Pentacles in that position, it feels like that you may be being forced into a choice here, and that you might not necessarily, in this time and place right now in this moment, have opted for having to make a choice at this particular junction. It feels like a crossroads here with this. The infinity symbol wrapping around these Two Pentacles here kind of feels like you're at this junction in the middle where you need to kind of choose a path forward. So yeah, this Five of Wands here, what I'm feeling from this is that it's about creative brainstorming and sort of overcoming any kind of inner conflict that you have and working with your desires. That's what I just heard. It's about your desires. That's also what the Empress represents here. Perhaps for some of you, you might be feeling a little bit challenged, or you might find that like on an emotional level or on an intellectual level, you might be trying to override what you are being impulsed towards as far as what you feel are your passions or your desires. You might be listening too much to the inner voice that's telling you that that's not practical, that's not that won't actually amount to financial abundance, something like that. So that's why I'm feeling with this card here. It's like you need to overcome that inner dialogue of conflict and second guessing yourself or talking yourself down from some kind of clarity that you have, and be more in a space of allowing those that creative inner voice to guide you and bring you into a space where you can brainstorm and allow new ideas to emerge and to percolate, maybe in ways that you haven't allowed before. Now in this position here, you have what are the hidden forces. This is the Ace of Wands. I really love the Ace of Wands in this deck. You can see there's a peacock or a stylized peacock resting on a sun. So this to me is saying that it's kind of confirming this top row here, where I'm sort of saying like you might be feeling challenged financially at the moment or with your resources to make a decision about a way to move forward here that allows you to really embody a sense of comfort and luxury, creativity, healing, intuition as well with the Empress. And you need to work with your inner dialogue to overcome any kind of conflict or any kind of doubt or any kind of lack of confidence or any kind of canceling out of what your higher self and your intuitive impulses are giving you. And the hidden force here, the Ace of Wands, is suggesting to allow pure creative energy to guide you. Intuition as well. The fire element can represent creativity as well as intuition. It can also be sexual energy. But how I'm seeing it in this spread is that there is like an overwhelming abundance of creative fire that is wanting to bubble to the surface. It's right now in the hidden forces. So this is something that perhaps you may have been staving off. Maybe you've been keeping this creative idea or project or impulse or desire. This could also be sexual too, right? With Empress as well. This could be a sexual thing. Some of you might be looking at options for partnerships, maybe. That's one way I could see this as well. But there's something here that maybe you've been suppressing for a little while. And it's saying here in this spread that it's time to overcome the inner doubt and the inner conflict that may be keeping you from allowing this idea or this project or this energy to be expressed in the manifest world. Now, this card here, from the Voyager deck, we have the Chariot in the position of the potential outcome. And the Chariot card is in reverse here. So I'm seeing this as well, let's have a look at this rune and see if the two of them combined can give some insight onto the energy that's defining what could potentially be the outcome here. But how I'm seeing the Chariot reversed in this reading is that, again, potentially your lack of confidence or your own stifling. I feel like you are stifling yourself in this energy. Because the energy that's challenging you is the Empress. This is like a pure creative force. This is pure divine feminine energy. This is abundance. This is luxury. This is healing energy. This is wealth. This is comfort. It's creativity. All these things. This is what's challenging you. And you are trying to potentially prevent yourself from expressing that energy because maybe there's a lack of confidence here with the Chariot reversed. There could also be a lack of momentum. But, you know, a lack of momentum is no reason not to begin something, right? You gain momentum as you go along. So some of what this is maybe a lack of confidence because you might have an idea about something creative, but you might not have the actual technical skills. Or you might have an idea about wanting to take on certain kind of tasks or a certain kind of role. Maybe you want to move into healing arts. Maybe you want to be in service in some kind of way, or you want to express yourself in a specific way that you never have before. And so the Chariot reverse is telling me that you might be avoiding beginning something because you feel a lack of skill or a lack of confidence or a lack of momentum in that area that you want to move towards. Now, this rune here is called Sawilo, and it represents the sun. Right? So this is such a beautiful reading. The sun here in this position of what is the spiritual lesson is suggesting that success and achievement is yours to embrace and claim here, right? As I keep repeating in this reading, I feel like the only thing that's preventing you from moving towards this energy that you really feel, you're really feeling this energy, but it's your own inner doubt, it's your own sense of I don't know, whatever it is for you that's causing you to feel doubtful, whatever it is that's feeling you to have a lack of confidence in yourself, whatever it is that's making you feel like this pursuit is outside of your reach. That's the only thing holding you back here, because the sun is in this position suggesting success, honor, the achievement of goals, health and wellness, life force energy, positive changes in the direction of the things that you wish to pursue. This is also like you merging with your higher self, which again, I feel this Empress and the Ace of Wands energy in this reading feels to me like there is like a higher calling that's coming through here. And your confusion about it, or it's almost like you're putting yourself in this decision of putting yourself in the position of whether, just whether or not you're going to make a decision to move towards it or not. But actually, it's almost like a given. There's a fated element in this reading, but the only thing that's holding you back is this inner conflict. So you need to work with this energy of the internal dialogue to find a way to brainstorm and pierce through that kind of self-imposed limitation that is playing out here. That's what I feel. Because the sun in the runes also represents the higher self. It's the merging point between the unconscious mind and the conscious mind. It's the way you embody what you understand to be your path or your karma, and really living it day by day, and rising up to meet whatever challenges that brings with a sense of knowing, with a sense of understanding that you're correctly in alignment with your purposefulness and with your path. And that in itself brings a kind of cleansing of karma as well in its own way. So avoid, what I'm feeling now in this is to avoid any kind of false humility. You might be falsely telling yourself that you're not worthy of rising up to be that energy or to be in that space. That's a trick of the ego. Don't do that. Listen to the highest calling that you are receiving and step into that with humility and with grace and with a willingness to learn, with a willingness to evolve, with a willingness to be in service, but understanding that as you move into that energy, it's about your own healing first and foremost. So don't be afraid of that. Don't avoid not starting something because you don't have momentum yet. That's also very, very clear in this reading. Right? The Ace of Wands is here suggesting that there is a pure energy of a beginning here, or there's a pure energy of inspiration coming directly from spirit or from source. That's how I feel with this Ace of Wands here. So, let's see. I feel like I basically covered this reading. I'm just going to check over and make sure there's nothing I've missed. I really like the message of this reading. I like the way that the cards have come through to give this specific meaning of this specific translation of this energy. The Ace of Wands is such a pure life force energy in this reading that falling in the position of the spread here of what is the hidden forces, it does kind of lend itself to the interpretation here that there is a very clear orchestration or a type of alignment or course correction that's happening. Not that it's a course correction. There's just that there is pure energy here available to you to access a part of your consciousness that you maybe have been potentially avoiding, or maybe not giving enough space to because of all these fears and doubts and insecurities that you've been allowing to, be louder than the force of that inspiration. Okay, friends. I feel like I'm going to leave it there. I hope this message finds you well. I hope you got something out of that. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.